Hi everyone, it's Mark Cuddy, Artistic Director at Geva Theater Center, and I'm thrilled to announce our 49th season. It's been a long time coming. In the past year and a half since the pandemic closed our doors in March of 2020, so much has changed all around us. It's been a tough time, but now we're back. Ring of Fire is going strong outdoors, and we can look towards the future. But throughout it all, we have continued to be inspired by you, your faith and patience and generosity. So now I'm ready to announce this 49th season, which, as many of you know already, is my last as Geva's Artistic Director. But I'll get to that in a moment. Our new season will begin in January 2022 and run through July. The schedule includes 5 productions on the Wilson stage. That's one fewer than usual for just this one truncated season. And 3 productions in the Fielding stage. A mix of Geva comedies, musicals, and dramas. Here they are. This play is ostensibly about air guitar competition, which is a very real thing. There's a world championship in Iceland every year. It's a real thing. It is also a comedy about finding one's community and being authentic to one's passions. You'll meet mostly lovable guitar devotees with rock star personas such as Shreddy Eddie, Facebender, Golden Thunder, Cannibal Queen, D Vicious, and the Nina. There's plenty of awesome recorded guitar riffs, but no real instruments whatsoever. Okay, follow me. You don't have to be a scientist to enjoy this love story between a beekeeper named Roland and a theoretical physicist named Marianne. The playwright conjures the notion of a multiverse where several outcomes can coexist simultaneously. What we see in the theater are multiple parallel scenes as 2 people go through a long-term relationship, backing up a little bit and making different choices as they go forward. Marianne tells Roland, quote, that in the quantum multiverse, every choice, every decision you've ever made and never made exists in an unimaginably vast ensemble of parallel universes. To which Roland replies, "This is really turning me on." Constellations will be my last directing assignment as artistic director, and it will be made more special by a kind of family affair. The costume designer will be my wife, Christina Sellian, who just did the costumes for Ring of Fire. And who's playing Roland and Marianne? Well, Marianne is the actress who played my daughter in Heartland just a couple of years ago, Mari Vile Golden. And her real-life romantic partner is playing Roland, our son, Gus Cuddy. This is another play that plays with time a little bit. A young writer's life turns upside down when her girlfriend drops some unexpected news. 50 years later, 4 artists feel the reverberation of that moment and its unexpected consequences as their lives intersect in pursuit of creative passion and legacy. In this bold, imaginative work, Christina Anderson dissects the universal act of creation in its many forms to inspire the dreamers and idealists in us all. Both Constellations and How to Catch Creation play with temporal concepts, which, after this pandemic, is something that we've all felt is sort of relative, right? Time. And we all fell in love with the charming and ultra-talented Brian Quijada during his Where Did We Sit in the Bus that was on film here last winter. In that solo show, we heard the story of how his mother made the immigration trek from El Salvador to San Diego. Brian has now created a new musical out of his mother's saga, inspired by The Wizard of Oz and featuring 6 actors and 4 onstage musicians. This will be truly a special event on the Wilson stage. Based on a real person, Afong Moy is 14 years old when she's brought to the United States from China in 1834. Allegedly the first Chinese woman to set foot in the U.S., she has been put on display for the American public as the Chinese lady. Set in a picture-perfect jewel box of a room covered in chinoiserie, for the next half-century she performs for curious Americans, attended by an assistant, Aton, showing the public how she eats, what she wears, and the highlight of the event, how she walks with bound feet. As the decades wear on, her celebrated sideshow comes to define and challenge her very sense of identity. And we see Afeng Moi talk about her peculiar life and her somewhat cool relationship with Atung in a poetic and often whimsical drama. Corporate yoga accessories giant Jojomon is at the pinnacle of its game when a scandal sends the company into a freefall. Joan, the newly hired CEO, risks everything in a wild scheme to recover the company's earnings and reputation. And what it requires from her CFO, Raj, is far beyond the call of duty. Yoga Play is a hilarious new comedy about the traps of cultural appropriation and searching for authenticity in a world determined to sell enlightenment. In 2015, Madeline, a Mohegan theater maker, travels to England to pursue a PhD in Shakespeare. Madeline finds a country that refuses to acknowledge its ongoing role in global colonization, just as the Brexit vote threatens to further disengage the UK from the wider world. In this gorgeously intimate and exhilarating solo show with an evocative soundscape, Madeline echoes a journey to England braved by her indigenous ancestors in the 1700s and invites us to consider what it means to belong in an increasingly globalized world. This show is on a national tour, and we are extremely fortunate to have Madeline agree to be with us in Rochester, New York. And our closing summer musical on the Wilson stage is the hilarious and touching Sister Act, based on the mega hit 1992 movie starring Whoopi Goldberg. So, what's the best place to hide a disco diva who just witnessed a mob hit? A convent, of course. Dolores Van Cartier takes cover and dons a habit, but she can't quite live up to the rigid expectations of Mother Superior. When she brings her disco talent to the convent choir, the word sister takes on a new meaning, as the public, the press, and the mob take notice. We will all be dancing to the beat of Sister Act as we close out our 49th season in time to celebrate our 50th anniversary in September of 2022. See you there. Now, as I said in the introduction, this 49th season will be my final one as your artistic director. Hey, it's time to pass the torch. So as the season plays out, you'll get to meet my successor, whoever they may be. And that's part of the excitement of being part of the Geva family. So thank you in advance for this great opportunity to look ahead to our 50th anniversary season that'll start in September of 2022.